Hello, beautiful family. God bless you. Welcome to your devotional number 15. And I'm so thankful that you are here today. I want to share with you a little bit more that service is the opportunity for training. That is where a lot of your gifts, talents will be seen, recognized, and sometimes even seen by you for the first time. I remember Dr. Murdoch saying that we don't really know what we have until somebody else tells us. We don't really know our value until somebody else sees it. So how are they going to see it? Well, while you're serving. I want to share a little testimony in this devotional. And adaptation is so important when it comes to service. What does it mean to adapt? It means to be ready. It means to be ready for the need at hand. It means that you have to be ready for God to surprise you, even to interrupt your schedules, to interrupt your routine. And you see those moments that were unexpected in the Bible. You see it with the Shunammite woman, which is another great example of servanthood that I will share in the next weeks. You see it with Elijah and Elisha. Elisha was focused on his business, and he got rid of his business and everything to follow Elijah. It was not planned. You can see it in many others in the Bible that there was a suddenly that happened, and that suddenly turned their life around. You have to be ready. David, he was taking care of the sheep of his father, and his father sent him in an errand to go see his brothers. Little did he know that behind that errand was the platform for him. He was about to encounter the king in him. I want to tell you this. Be ready to say yes. Be ready for last minute changes. Be ready for adaptation. Be ready for a phone call. Be ready to be the alternate. In many cases, that's how promotions come, because the one that is qualified doesn't show up, doesn't come, is not there, and suddenly you're there, and all of this happens. Be ready, and don't make a big deal if they did not give you the proper welcome, the proper recognition for it, the proper, David didn't have a proper nothing. I mean, nobody believed that he could kill Goliath. Nobody. The only one that believed it was him. His daddy didn't send him for that. His brothers did not. King Saul did not. And sometimes we are so wanting people to prepare us and plan for every little detail. But a lot will happen through adaptation. I believe someone's watching today, and your promotion will come because of an opportunity of service. You're going to receive a phone call where they have a need, and you're going to say yes to that need. When you are in an environment, pay attention to what's missing. What's missing here? Do something about it. What is missing in this environment? I remember doing that even at Four Seasons many times. If somebody, had extra plates on their table during lunchtime, I would go pick them up. I don't have to wait. There's not a position. You don't need a title for that. You just need to be attentive, and you need to move. You need to adapt to what you see. Be ready, be available at all times. And anyway, I'll tell you my little story. I was on my way. I had a big binder of sermons always with me, because I never knew when I was going to speak, where I was going to speak. I would sometimes find out on a Sunday what was going to be the schedule of Sunday, but those could change. And I remember it was probably a Saturday, maybe. I don't remember the day of the week. But anyway, we were headed to San Juan de Abajo, Nayarit, and I was scheduled to speak there that day. And I had my binder of sermons because I didn't know where I was going until that day. I didn't know if I was going to teach to the young people or to the church, or if I am needed in anywhere else. Well, here I go. On the way there, the pastor or somebody driving received a message, whoever was in charge, received a phone call, from my pastor saying, turn around, you're not going to San Juan anymore. I just found out that there is a resort, La Joya de Mismaloya, one of the highest level resorts in Puerto Vallarta. And there was going to be a wedding there. And they called our church asking in an emergency if there was a English speaking minister that could perform a wedding as an emergency because their minister could not make it. And one of the things that I loved about my pastor is that he was ready. He was ready for everything and anything and every moment of the day. If anybody needed anything, he could say yes 24/7. And he trained us that way. I don't recall ever him having someone that would say, I'm not available. Those were words that did not exist in our church. So anyway, he said, so you cannot go to San Juan. Ana is not going to be speaking. She needs to do a wedding. She needs to go do a wedding right now. Well, guess what, family? I had never done a wedding before. Had never performed a wedding. For sure, did not have a binder for that. And I had no idea. I did not know the names of the groom and bride. I did not know a thing. There was no such thing as Google. I didn't have my smartphone to look up sermons online. No, nothing like that. So I had about 30 minutes by the time I heard the news to the time I got to the hotel to prepare, whatever that meant. I don't remember. Maybe I looked up scriptures. I don't remember what I did. Got there, and it was full of people. Had never done a wedding, especially not in English. And I performed the wedding, and that was my first experience. Well, what happened after that? In Four Seasons, they found out that I performed the wedding. And then Four Seasons, the place where I worked, asked me to become their wedding minister. So I performed weddings there. And then the photographer that would always be hired by Four Seasons to take care of the pictures of the weddings started to promote me in other hotels in Puerto Vallarta, saying, oh, I know a short little girl that she can do weddings and she's good. In 10 minutes, she'll get them in and out. And well, they would, I would ask them, how long do you want the wedding to be? And they would tell me, just short. And so anyway, I would perform the weddings, and then they asked me, why are you not charging any money? I said, well, I don't charge, I'm here. And they said, well, no, we want to pay you. I don't know how much, just whatever you want to give me. No, that's not how it works. You don't do that in hotels. You don't go and say whatever you want to give me. You have to establish a rate. So they decided the rate for me, and it was $250 per wedding in Mexico, dollars in Mexico. That was a very expensive wedding, but that's how they promoted me. So now I had a whole new line of income, a whole new stream of income through weddings that I had not planned, was not ready for, not qualified for, but yet God did it for me. And not in little hotels, but the best hotels in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. How did that happen? By saying yes. Be available. Be ready. Yes, but I already had plans. So what? Cancel them. Be ready. You have to risk. What if? And you always have to have this attitude. What if this is the moment that God wants to use me? Just say yes. Thank you so much for listening, family. And if you would like to sow a seed to Wisdom for Winning Church, you can by going through PayPal or Zelle. The email is pastoranna@wisdomforwinningchurch.tv, or you can sow through Cash App. Wisdom, number 4, winning. God bless you, and I love you very much.